Arrow Season 3, Episode 1, The Calm. Turn this TV down. This was a very good episode for Season 3. We received a lot of different answers, and it was a good start for the season. So many things happened here. I'm going to address some points here. I want to be able to address everything that happened within this episode without giving away any spoilers. And I have my outline here so I can focus on some certain events that occurred. So the first thing that I want to address is Roy Harper becoming Red Arrow. And if you guys don't know who Red Arrow is, just kind of research him so you can kind of get an idea of who Roy Harper is and how he transitions into becoming Red Arrow, and you guys will see. But the first two seasons, Roy is fused with this drug, or this guy gives him this drug, and it makes him really, really strong and really, really powerful, but he can't control it. And he loses control a lot, and it makes him do things that he wouldn't normally do, like attack people, and he can't really control his anger. Now, in this season, it seems to me that he's able to control his power, and he's able to control his anger a lot more, and that's very, very good. And so he's transitioning. He's now transitioning to Red Arrow, as you can see from this episode, and he is just he's badass. I mean, there's really no way to describe it. He's badass. He's able to get things done, and he's able to think logically and rational. So Oliver made a necklace for John, which John is having a kid now. So now we're skipping some things here. John had a kid with the person who he was with in season 2, and it kind of it doesn't flashback or anything, but they just want to make you assume that they, and then she got pregnant, and she did, and so he made a necklace for John, and John rebutted it, and he said, "Well, if you're doing this for me, why don't you want to date Felicity?" And John's whole thing is, Oliver's whole thing is, it's not the right time. It's not the right time. I know when the right time is right. And John was basically saying, well, there's no other right time than now. You love her. You've expressed your feelings for her on multiple occasions. So why don't you give her a shot? And Oliver says, okay, you know what? That's actually a good idea. Let me go ahead and try it and see how it goes. So this kind of transitions into Oliver and Felicity going on an actual date, and Oliver basically he really opens up to Felicity, and he tells her all the things that happened pretty much on the island, and how he was trained, and he was trained not to have any emotions. He didn't trust people, and it's kind of transitioned once he got off of the island, and those same things started to reoccur. So he really has trouble trusting anyone. Now, he has some acquaintances, some friends that he associates with, but he still doesn't. He trusts them to an extent, but not to the point where it's in the terms of he wants to date a woman. And he likes Felicity, obviously. I mean, there's many cameos, many scenes that you've seen in season 2 where they definitely show interest towards each other. And it doesn't go anywhere because Oliver's protecting himself, and he's protecting Felicity's feelings as well too. So that was interesting seeing that. Laurel actually played a very, very pivotal role in this episode because she introduced Oliver to her father, and her father actually has a promotion. He got promoted to a detective, and the one thing that he said within his speech that kind of caught my attention, he said that the vigilante, or the person who's saving the town, we will not search for him, and we will not try to sentence him or take him to jail. Very, very, very important, because in the past 2 seasons, they were always trying to get this guy. They were always trying to get Arrow. They were always trying to throw him in jail because they figured that he was this villain out just killing people for irrational reasons, and it wasn't the case. He actually helped the city more so than destroy it, but they didn't realize it till later on within the actual season. So there was also a flashback of Hong Kong, kind of focused on that. It was very, very interesting as well, because it kind of shows Oliver's transition from the island to Hong Kong, why he's there, what he's doing there, and his overall purpose, and where he plans to go afterwards. So he once again they show they have a heavy emphasis on the Felicity and Oliver relationship and whatnot. Now, an enemy surfaces. Now, the drug that he uses is called Vertigo. The enemy uses this drug called Vertigo, and once again, this was a drug that was heavily emphasized within season two. Vertigo is a drug that the enemy uses, which makes you hallucinate, and this was a drug that was shot at Oliver. And this is really isn't spoiler because I'm not telling you what happens to the actual enemy, but he shoots a drug at Oliver and it makes Oliver hallucinate. And the reason why this is important because Oliver sees himself, and what this episode shows is Oliver's biggest fear is himself. And another guy is introduced within this series, and his name is Roy Palmer. Now, Roy Palmer has this idea of taking over Starling Enterprise and making it his own company. And I mean, he has a plan, and his plan is just way. I won't say that it's better than Oliver, but the way he delivered it was was more impactful than Oliver's speech. So I really enjoyed seeing that, and also I think there's kind of a little thing maybe going on between Roy Palmer and Felicity. I don't know. This is my speculations. It could be, but that's what I'm speculating. So towards the end, we also see that Barry Allen he has a little cameo and he says, "Hey, come meet me, Oliver. I need to talk to you about something." So it's leading us to believe that there's going to be maybe some crossover episodes of Arrow and Flash, and the later episodes, maybe possibly around episode 8 or so to speak, or maybe sooner. You never know with Arrow. So now there is a death that occurs, but I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to. Well, I just talked about it, but I'm not going to go in depth with it. But it's definitely impactful, and it'll set the tone for the rest of the season and this episode once you guys watch it. So with that being said, guys, that's my review of Arrow season 3, episode 1, The Calm. So leave your thoughts down below about what you thought of the episode. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Are you excited for the rest of the episodes to come or this season? And I'll see you guys later. Peace. So now, stay cool.